As the years have gone on, they've finally kind of grasped what I do for a job. They know mummy travels, and then mummy plays rugby with all their aunties, and then mummy comes home with a present.
You know, I want her to see that being ambitious and being driven is a key quality for women, and that's why, you know, women are performing on the world stage. That's why they're elite athletes, because they have that drive and ambition, and we make sacrifices, but then at the flip side of that, we make sure the time that we do, you know, that you spend with her is quality time.
I've done quite a few amazing things, you know. I've done a World Cup final, I've been to Rio, but Sydney was a really special tournament for me. It was the first one back from just having a baby, and my little boy was actually in the stands, so that was pretty cool that he could see his mum out on the pitch.
Before I had kids, life was all about me, whereas now when I look at life, I think, what can I do to help that's going to make things better for my kids when they grow up? How's it going to be an easier road for them, or help them to, I don't know, our values and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to live my life for them to look up to and really be proud of that. I had strong females in my family growing up. My nana, she was the queen of our family, and she set some really good foundations for our family. And then obviously my mum too, and my twin sister. So I have strong females all around, you know, even the girls. Every day I get to train in and day out with these amazing, talented athletes. Being able to be a strong female, no matter what I'm doing, I know that my girls feed off that, and I guess it's like that nature versus nurture. The way I'm raising them, I know it's going to instill those values and strong backbone into them, what I want them to have when they grow up.
I think it's for women who work, don't be ashamed of being ambitious, and don't be ashamed of, you know, the fact that you have a different work-life balance to everyone else. And we do it because we love our jobs. I always think it's a privilege to work in elite sports. Not a lot of people work at this level, see their athletes perform on the world stage. Like, I want to be, as I said, we're part of their journey, and, you know, that's what makes it all worthwhile.
I already see him now, and he mimics everything I do, so I want to be that positive role model for him. So everything I do now, I think about how does that reflect on who he's going to be as a person. But to be surrounded by positive female role models, not just men, because I think that will only enrich him to be a better person. You know, treating everyone the same and equally, I think, is an incredibly important lesson to teach him growing up. And hopefully when he grows up, he has a strong wife as well, and that he supports, and like my husband does, supports me to come to these kind of things.
I remember when I first started on this journey, I said to my partner, oh, look, this is where I'm at and where I want to be, and this is what it's going to take. And he just pretty much not gave me permission, but he just said, you know, like, you got to go do your thing, and we're going to be here to support you no matter what. It's real cool. He wants me to live my dreams, and I think that's a great message to our daughters too, to see the man of the household also support his partner in doing that. Because usually, you know, in life, the men go out and they play rugby, and the wife's at home with the kids, and it's kind of like a role reversal. But in saying that too, I feel like he's just as strong from doing that, and he shows great character from that.
I think Ant and Stan, both our coaches, both fully appreciate how difficult it can be having kids at home, leaving them, not being around them, and, you know, the fact that you need that time. So I think both of them are really supportive, but it's because they've already walked in these shoes, so they know the struggles. They've certainly been there to make sure that it's been doable. I suppose they can't predict how well I was going to travel, or how tough or how easy I thought it would be, but I suppose they were confident that if somebody could do it, that they knew I would do it. And if I really wanted to come back and get into this role, they were going to be supportive of it, and they knew I was going to make it work.
I think the biggest one that really hit home for me of how supportive they are was the whole centralisation process. Right down to like the girls and the management was, I had to drop my kids off, so they start at 8:30, so I couldn't be at training before 8:30 obviously, and I lived on the other side of Tauranga, so we pushed training out to 9 just so I could make it. And that's like all of them, so that's all the 24 girls, the management, all moving half an hour shift just for me, and I'm forever grateful for that.
because we haven't had any other female referees, we've had some players go through this, they just let me do my thing and like kind of dictate the terms of when I would come back and how I would come back. And I always felt like I was never gonna, I guess, lose my position. Once I was ready to come back, I was always going to be welcomed with open arms. I did a lot of domestic stuff, so he was coming with me. He was part of our referee group. I went to New Zealand and Fiji. Again, he came with me for those tournaments. And recently I was working with the Aussie girls they played some games against Japan, brought them along, and they were used to looking after babies before, so he got attached to Emma Sykes. So I was reffing, I could just see him on their lap, so that was pretty cool.
Let's just say when they Skype me, no one wants to talk to me, they want to talk to their aunties. So it's, hi Mum, where's Auntie Gossie? Where's Auntie Kelly? Where's Auntie Ruby? Straight away. So I'm full going around the room and they're saying hi and what are you doing? And even right down to the point where if I need to do something and Tom is at work, I can call on the girls and can I drop them off please? I just need to go to this appointment and blah, blah, blah. And they just, drop them off and they get a few extra chocolates from their aunties, but it's all good, it's all love, so.
It has been tough. This is the first proper one where I haven't had him. So when he was younger, I was actually bringing him along with me, but I just couldn't bear the 9-hour trip on a plane with him, to be honest. But no, it has been tough. So I Skype him home every day. I've got my mum texting me with just making sure he's okay. And I've got a really good support network so that I can come to these things and know that he's going to be all right, that he's going to be taken care of.
Because I know where she is, she's with her grandparents, she's getting spoiled, they're having good quality time. That's good, but also I can FaceTime her. She won't always react with me on FaceTime, but at least I can watch her play or I can watch whatever her new toy is that she's been given for the week. So that kind of makes it easier, so you can still get to see her every day.
At the last tournament, I actually missed the first day of my youngest daughter's first day of school. And I was trying my hardest and our manager tried hard to get me on an early flight, but there just wasn't any. And so I pretty much was Skyping my partner and walking with her to school that way. And I think just the family time and the milestones and the little moments that only happen once, those are the hardest ones to miss.
These girls are the icons that I want my daughter to look up to, and I want to be the fact that I can say that I was part of their journey, part of their success and how they've progressed. That's key.